Okay, good evening, guys. Welcome back to Dr. DIY's channel. In today's video, I'm going to basically service this exhaust cooker hood because it has been a couple of years which have not been serviced. This was purchased from IKEA and the brand is Whirlpool. Not mistaken, it's made in England if not mistaken, right? And since 2013, it's been 7 years this has been used and it is not serviced. And I came across that the exhaust suction is very poor. So we can have a look. So I on the okay. So I'm gonna. It is at 3 now. You can hear the sound. It's hardly blowing out the air, right? So what we are going to do, we're going to open up this cover and then we are going to take out the fan or whatsoever is inside here and we're going to clean it with a degreaser and we're going to put it back. And obviously we're going to clean this filter too. All these filters we're going to clean it. So without further delay, let's start the show. Okay, so I have to put my drill in here to remove the screw, right? And you can see there is a space allocated for me to put my drill here to remove the screw. And these are the small things which makes the customer or the user to appreciate the brand, you know, because the engineers, the designers took the effort to come up with such a design so that they allow those maintenance guys to put in their tools here to remove the screw and all that. So we appreciate the brand and the brand become famous and well known, you see. So designing is also a factor when it comes to maintenance work, you know. So you see, it's easy to remove. So now the switch comes out just nice. So you just have to open up this screw and just take out this wire by moving this bracket. And we are already done and we got to take out this. So the switch I've already taken out. The bracket, I took out the bracket. This is the bracket. So the bracket is out. So now we're going to remove this, and in order to remove this we have to turn this guy the other way. So before I remove this, just to show you, these are all the dirt and the oil substance, right? Bear in mind that this cooker hood is used on a moderate usage, right? So the cooking activity is not that heavy duty, meaning which is not being used every day, but moderate usage. Okay, so even though moderate usage, which was installed in year 2013 and no maintenance was done until today, and when we open up today, you can look at the dirt and the oil all stick. This is actually not a burn mark, this is actually all the oil. So you imagine if you do not do maintenance, all this oil is going to build up, this dirt, this grime, all is going to build up, and what is going to happen? When it build up, the weight will be there, and without your knowledge, without your view, when you are cooking, this thing actually becomes hot. Now it's very hot, okay, it's very hot, but when it touches heat, it becomes slimy, greasy. So what happened? It will drip, and where it will drip? In your delicious food. And without you knowing, that is how you're going to get food poisoning, right? Stomach upset, and all the disease will come in. So this is where you can, you know, these are all actually fungus, bacteria on this surface. It's just that we can see with our naked eye. It's just that we cannot see. If we got a special high resolution microscope, right, we can see. And coupled with the with the situation right now we are facing, this COVID-19. Alright, so we got to take precautions in our everyday life, especially the hygiene in our everyday life. So we got to do, and we got to look into all this. Many people overlook this. So if you cannot do it by yourself, get a technician to come and service it for you, right? And if the technician insists, they said nobody does this service and all that, get another technician, or maybe you can show them this video to motivate them, right? So let's proceed now by moving this. Actually, the lower screws are already removed, so now we're going to just remove these two screws at the back, right? Because you can see when I open up this, the cover is already coming out, okay? But it is still secured with these two screws at the back, which we are going to open up now. And here. Okay. Remember, all the screws, keep it properly. Well, it's quite tight. Okay, so this whole thing comes up. Okay, all right, you can see, yeah, look at that. These are all the oil, all the dirt. Look at this. This is what we don't want, and this is what is entering in your food without you knowing it. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, this is accumulated since 2013 till today. 7 years, right? Okay, our next thing is obviously to get to this blower, only the blower. So we got to remove the casing of the blower. So this is rather simple. You see any screws, we just remove it, okay? Because these screws are all holding the panel together. So you just remove all the screws, right? You remove these 4 screws, and then you remove this screw because it's holding this bar, and same goes to the other side. Yeah, you can also see on top here there's also screws holding this, right? Just gently remove all screws, which I'm going to do now, and I will show you how it looks without the casing. Okay, I've already removed the screws, so the bar comes up slowly. 2 screws here, 2 screws below. The bar comes out slowly. So we just put inside, and the top plates also can come out. Okay, this is how the top plate looks like. This is the blower, and I've also removed the top cover here. So this is the circuitry which controls the speed of the motor. It controls the lighting of this cooker hood, right? Because this is the light wire, and this is the speed controller. Okay, sorry, this is the power. Yeah, this is the inlet, power inlet. This is the speed controller for the motor, and this is the light. So we are just going to remove these wires. So they have already made the clip here, so we are going to remove this clip. I simply press that likewise, and press here. Okay, and this guy. So all is disconnected. So now you're going to loosen up this to take out the wires, and also this, and whatever earth is on the housing you got to remove. Okay, so this is the electrical circuitry. Just to note something, okay, just to note something, right? In case this thing goes faulty, it doesn't work due to lightning strike or a short circuitry in your house and this thing failed to work. So what you are going to do, obviously first you are going to the meter to check the fuse or the ELCB or the main fuse to see whether is that any fault there or not, or the fuse is it blown or not. If that is not the case, then you need to inspect this circuitry board. Why? Because most of the circuitry board, they come with a fuse, and normally the fuse will be placed at the incoming of the main wire. So in this case, this is the main wire which is going in, and as the wire goes in to the circuitry board, you will see something called FU, which is the fuse. Okay, so in this case the fuse looks like this. This is how the fuse looks like, right? It's closed with a special insulator. So normally the fuse will blow. You just change the fuse and God willing it should work. Sometimes the fuse is not like this. The fuse is a very small fuse, something like this. The fuse looks like this, right? But actually this is not the fuse. The fuse looks something like this, but how you know that is the fuse? It will be labeled next to the fuse F1 or maybe F2 or F3 or so forth, because depending how many fuse they have. So normally for fuse, the label they will use is F, but in this case they are using FU, the short form. Okay, for your sorry, there you can see here they are using the word F5A, meaning which the fuse used in this circuit is a 5 ampere fuse. So this is a 5 amp fuse. So if you replace, you got to replace it with the same spec, not higher, not lower. This is the spec given by the manufacturer of this circuit. Okay, so we're going to disconnect. Oh, we got some more here to disconnect, another wire here, okay, for the left and right lighting. Okay, because we got two lighting, so you just press and remove it. Okay, and the rest is okay. Try not to touch any capacitors, because capacitors generally they keep current inside, so you might get electrocuted. So you might want to wear insulation gloves. Okay, so in this case we are good to go. So we are going to open up take out the wires, and now we got to get this box out from this steel plate. Okay, so before we start the maintenance work, first thing first, we got to off the switch. So this is the switch, so it's currently off, right? This switch basically will isolate the neutral and the earth. Next is we're gonna unscrew the screw which is holding the casing. The screws up there, yeah, it's up there. You got one screw there and one screw there. So you got to take out that screw. This whole thing will come out. Alright, then you can disconnect the wire and you can take out, I think we can start taking out this. Yes. Oops. See inside how dirty. So the objective is to clean the whole thing with all the bacteria and all the germs accumulated over the years. So this is the specs. 310 volts. Using a lamp of a halogen lamp 2 × 20 watts. Product is designed and manufactured Whirlpool USA. Oh sorry, it's from USA. Okay. Okay, after opening up the screw, the panel will drop down. You can bring down the panel, but this thing still cannot open. Why? Because this thing is secured to the base of this by means of screw. So where is the screw located? Let me just show you. So this is the screw. 1, 2. Yeah, they have 2 screws. So these 2 screws. Sorry, 3. So 1, 2, and 3. You have to open up these 2 screws. This whole thing will come out. Okay. I think it's already taken out. You can see. So next thing is now to remove this blower. Okay, so in order to remove this blower, it's better you detach the ducting hose. So in this case, the ducting hose is tightened up by means of a clip here. So I'm going to loosen up this clip. I'm just going to take out from here because outside is already sealed to the outside. So I'm going to loosen up here, take out this, and I'm going to unscrew 1, 2, from below 3, 4, on top here 5 and 6 screws. So there's a warning here, power off before maintenance. So in other words, they recommend you to do maintenance on this device from time to time because it's going to get dirty. All the catchment of oil and all the dirt will be inside, which we will be looking into it later. Right? So let's start opening up the hose and this. Okay, let's see. So we loosen up. So we extend. Oh, it can already come out. Oh, that's good. Okay, I actually secured it with some silicone previously to avoid any further vibration. So I think I can take it out. Yeah, this is coming out. So I think we don't need to take out because later when we open up this, we can just slide it up. So no need to exert a lot of force. So we just leave it here. Later we will just clean up all the silicone and put new silicone. Okay, so let's take out this screw now. One, two, something which is, I'm worried it might come loose, so we have to check. What is this? Okay, because I'm worried if I take out the screw this bar will drop, but it seems the bar is secured here, so it's no problem. So let's remove the balance 2 screws on the other side. Sorry for the, okay, so we look at the screws here. Just remove these slowly. Okay, and the last screw. Alright, it's been out. So all the screws to be placed in a safe container so they don't go missing. So in this case, it's all right. So I'm going to remove the down screw. Okay, slight update. Don't remove the balance 2 screw from here. You may remove, actually these screws all not to be removed. 1, 2, the other side 3, 4, and the balance 2 here is not to be removed at the moment, right? Because that is not the procedure how to bring this down. The procedure, because I forgot. So the procedure is you remove the aluminium ducting. After you remove the aluminium ducting, this whole thing together with the hood, consider the whole hood, you got to lift it up because there is a hook behind here. This thing is hooked at the hook, so you just lift it up and you bring this whole thing down as one unit, which I will be doing now, and I will show you what hook I mean. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You can see this is the hook, right? So basically most of the cooker hood installation are the same, right? So you install this bracket, you have the hook coming out here, and you later hook it, the blower onto this bracket. So this is how the blower looks like, the hood, and you have the housing, the holes here for the hook to be there. So now you can remove the screws accordingly. Okay, so now what you're going to do, remove these 4 screws and the balance 2 screws which is down. I'm going to just tilt it. I put it this way. Right. So I'm going to open up this screw, okay, then I'm going to open up this screw and also this screw to take out this panel, because I need to disconnect the wire. My objective now is to take out this blower. Then if there is any circuitry for the lights and the switch, I have to remove them also, because the whole casing should be free of any wires and any electrical circuit, because we are going to wash it with detergent, so that you remove all the dirt, the grime, and also the oil. Alright, so after removing this screw and this screw, this panel can come out. So this is the light panel. You can see there is a socket, just remove it. Okay, there are some few cable tied, you need to cut it off to take out all the wires. Okay, I've already taken out all the screws now, so this thing is free from all the wires. You can see there's some wet mark here. Okay, this is actually the oil. This is very dangerous. Why? Because if this builds up and if it goes inside this hole, it goes in the circuit, it touches the circuit, you will get a short circuit, and this thing will be faulty. Okay, so later we are going to clean this also. We're going to open up and see what is inside, whether you see all wet. It's all sign of oil stain. Okay, so now we're going to disconnect the whole blower simply by removing the 4 screws. So this thing will come down and the whole blower will be detached from the steel enclosure. So the blower is already been detached from the housing. So this is how the blower looks like. So when the blower on, these flappers will move up and air will go out to the aluminium ducting. Okay, so this is how the blower looks, assembly looks like, blower assembly. So this is the blower. The fins are made of aluminium. It should be aluminium because we do not want any rust, but it is not that dirty, but I can see the oil stain is there. You can see the brownish color, so we got to clean this also. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Can you see all the oil, right? All the oil. So we got to clean this. So there's 2 parts to this task. First is we are going to clean all the casing, and second is obviously the blower. So what do you get when you disassemble a cooker hood? Yes, you get the filter, you get the lights, you get the switch, panel board. Yes, you get some brackets, you get obviously the blower itself, then you get the circuitry, you get the blower and enclosure, and you get the final enclosure of the blower assembly. So yes, this is how it looks like. So this is the main components. of a cooker hood assembly. So what we are going to do now is we are going to clean all the panels, which is easy to be cleaned by means of degreaser and water, right? But careful precautions need to be taken when we are cleaning the blower, because it is you have the electrical wires going inside there. So we will see how to clean that later. So this is how we are going to clean. Right, we're going to use the degreaser to spray. Maybe I'll just spray and leave it overnight, and tomorrow I'll spray with water. You can see this is blue color because I did not take out the protective layer yet. If I take out, it's going to be very new. So let's start the cleaning process. Okay, I mix with soap and some degreaser. So I mix it with water, and I have a degreaser here. Actually, this is not the container. I'm just using the wheel cleaner container, but the degreaser I already mixed with water. So I'm just going to spray on the surface, right? Let all the degreaser get into the holes and the oil, right? Same goes to all this. I'm going to spray, and then I'm going to soak them in the water overnight, and it will make my work much more easier tomorrow when I'm going to wash this. Okay, we are going to open up this assembly for this blower now. It's recommended you wear your gloves. I've already washed the blower, so this blower has been washed thoroughly, right? I've used the detergent to wash this. Immediately after washing it, I dried the inside compartment, right, where the rotor is going to spin, and I immediately put a layer of grease to prevent any oxidization, because although this is not going to rust, but this is aluminium, so we do not want any watermark or any oxidization to occur on the surface. That means it will decrease the efficiency of the motor, right? So we just left it here to dry. Just to share with you, if you come across such clips onto the fins of this rotor, right, don't remove the position of these clips. Why? These clips are placed at a specific location to reduce the vibration of this rotor when this guy is turning. They act like weight balance, right? It's just like when you do your wheel balancing of your car, they add the weights on the rim. Same thing to this guy. Okay, so don't remove the position. If this thing accidentally comes out, try your best to find the accurate position to put this back. Okay, so don't remove this. So the filters are all clean. Same goes to the panel, and also some of the compartments of the cooker hood. It's all been cleaned, soaked overnight, and washed with detergent thoroughly. I'm just turning it over, just letting it dry. So we wait for it to dry. This is the parts after being washed. So you can see it's very clean after being washed with the degreaser. So now we are going to fix it back together. Likewise, how we open up. So we have already installed everything. So before we install this to the bracket, it is good to plug it in and to check. So this is number one. It's very quiet. So this is number one. It's very quiet because we just service, we put grease at the motor bearing and the bushes. This is number two. And finally number three. Doesn't vibrate. Off. Okay, a quick update. When I install this panel and this panel will slide in this panel, and when the cooker hood is on, there will be vibration and there will be a rattling sound between the two metals. So to overcome this, you may put a fabric tape around this, right? This is the solution. Most automotive vehicles use this tape to eliminate vibration between wires and the body of the car. So they wrap all the wires with this fabric light tape. I will put a link in the description below later where you can buy this tape, right? It's relatively very cheap. So I've already placed the fabric tape here, so I'm going to place this now inside here, right? Okay, finally done fixing the cooker hood. So we have already fixed it up, clean it up from all the handprints, and also just to inform, the cover attached to the base, I did put a fabric tape between the cover and the base. Why? Because to eliminate any vibration or rattling sound when the cooker hood is on, right? So I put it all around here. Okay, and there is a gap between the cooker hood and the cabinet. So to eliminate such gap, I have put a special type of sponge, right? So the sponge is this type. Okay, and what else I did is I have actually modified the lights, right? These are halogen lights, and these lights are very hot when they operate, and they are not energy efficient because I bought this cooker hood back then in 2013. So today's modern cooker hoods, I think most of them all come with LED lighting, so I decided to put a strip of LED lights. They are getting the same power source from this guy because this is 12 volts, so not much of a wiring. And since I've done that, I just also did for this side, so I'm not going to use this motion powered light anymore. I'm going to use this. So this is the final assembly of the cooker hood. Okay, so I hope this video helps in terms of knowledge sharing, or you may also DIY your cooker hood if it's dirty. I think recommended is every 1 year to open up and to inspect the blower assembly inside, right? So thank you guys for your patience in viewing this long duration of this video clip. So if you like it, please support this video by liking it, subscribe to the channel, and share the video among your friends. Till we meet again from Dr. DIY channels, checking out. Cheers guys.